Everyone has had to overcome something at some point in our past. Unfortunately, it's a part of life. But when something really tragic happens, does that pain ever go away? I spoke with Kegan Walls about some of the struggles he has had to overcome in his past.
2000. It was right before I turned 12. That was when the bulk of the event happened. That spring, I had lost a friend of mine to suicide. He was a year older than me. He just hung himself in the closet. Wasn't anything weird or out of the ordinary, I guess, as far as suicide is concerned, but his name was Chris. That's all I'm going to say. His problem was, well, it's now it's a lot more, what would you say, brought to the attention. People know about it more now, but he was bullied. He was a very skinny guy, and he had a problem with bones. He had weak bones, and I don't remember what it was, but so he hung himself, and I was one of his closer friends. We played Pokemon, the card game, together, and my family went to his funeral, and some of our other buddies went to his funeral, and we were all very sad because we were like 11, 12, 13. And that summer, two more buddies of mine went off to a trip to Houston. And I can't quite specifically remember because I did my best to forget a lot of the shit that happened. But it was somewhere in South Houston, I believe. They were murdered. It was just a shootout. Nothing really out of the ordinary about it other than just murder. And I guess saying that is really what makes it so odd, is because until it happens to you, you never really think of death as ordinary. Yeah. But once it's happened enough, you do. And they're both shot dead on the scene. And I found out about it about a week later after the authorities had done their investigation and stuff. And it totally blew my mind because this is the second and third person of the year. And I just remember crying a lot. 2 months later, we were beginning the new school year, and a girl I knew, and I really liked her, and we were really good friends. Her name was Courtney. And came to school one day, because we always had breakfast together in the cafeteria, because I was riding the bus at that point. Before I didn't, and I didn't see her in the cafeteria. And I thought, well, maybe she's just late. Well, went through the school day, and she wasn't there. And got home that afternoon, and my parents were there. My dad had gotten off work early, and I didn't understand why. And they sat me down and explained that she had died in a car accident. And one of the things all these kids had in common was, like, one of the last things they had done was talk to me, because when my friends went to Houston, they called me on the phone because we were good buddies. And Chris, when he hung himself the night before, they found him. He'd talked to me on the phone. Didn't even mention anything, didn't act like anything was wrong. And then Courtney, the night before, she'd come over and we'd watch the movie. And then she was dead. She had died on her way to school. So my parents invested in the therapist, and I'll call him Dr. G. was in therapy from the time I was, 12 by that point, till I was 15.
Kegan proves that even though it may seem impossible at times, no struggle is too great to overcome.